Good afternoon. Sorry for the delay today. Unfortunately, my equipment seems to have let me down. My keyboard seemed to work, and my mouse wasn't working either. But now I've unplugged everything and plugged it in again and messed around for a while. Everything seems to have come on. So yeah, what are we going to do this afternoon? Unit 39, the final part. Okay. One of the things that we covered last time, if I just move down to unit. I'm having a lot of luck with this today. Really awkward and sticky. Last we got down to the unit. One of the things we looked at last time was the behaviours in the classroom and where it matched up pretty well with Unit 1. But there will be some issues with regard to Unit 1. If I click on load that up. As I said earlier, I've been having problems with the equipment. It's been very slow. It's been slow to pick up. And we've got as far as L3. LO3 is be able to apply theories of behaviour management to create and maintain purposeful learning environment. So it's analyse the theories of behaviour management. So you need to read up on those from the information that's on Moodle for you, and just discuss the theories. The second bit is establish a purposeful learning environment. You can cross-refer this to LO1 4.3. But there will also be part of your teaching observations where a question with regard to managing the learning environment was in there, and that will have been covered by the observer and any notes put on at that point. So again, that can be used as part of your evidence for this learning objective here. The next bit, you need to expand on your responses at Unit 1 4.3. Expand on practice in creating a purposeful learning objective, taking into account the theories of behaviour management. Let's say you've got a number of theories on management and how you resolve them, and some of those may be applicable to you, others may not. So that's why when you look at the analysis here, there's nothing to stop you in there if you've got issues with any of those theories. Say what they are, because not everybody will agree with the theories of behaviour management. Some of them work, but only in given circumstances. In some circumstances, they just wouldn't work at all. This is from my own experience. Other of the theories rely too much on the support you may have in the school. If that support's not there, then small schools don't always have everything to hand and all the resources they would like. So again, they're not really applicable. Managing the behaviours in the class is very much down to the teacher. If you have little patience with students and you go through things without getting feedback from them, without involving them too much, the old chalk and talk regime, that doesn't work because it upsets or puts the backs up of children, or certainly of adults as well, and therefore the learning environment is not purposeful. So you're looking at explaining how your own practice, how you operate, basically. But again, you can expand on your responses this time to Unit 1, and Objective 4.3. This section, or this element, 3.3, is all about you stating how you actually operate within the confines of the school or college on the curriculum part that you actually deliver. If you have had experience where the behaviour of some of the students has not met what you would like, then give those as examples and how you got around it as well. Finally, 4.2. Identifying your own strengths and areas for improvement in relation to managing behaviours and living environment. Again, your SWOT analysis may not have covered your self-assessment in engaging behaviour, so you will need to, it will need to be added there. So this is where you've previously done reflections on how things have gone within the class. And again, if you've got examples of where you've dealt with issues, then fine, put those in by all means. If you've even had issues with where you've not been able to deal with it and have to refer it on, again, that would be great. What you can do, if you've got, I mean, quite a lot of people don't have issues in the classroom. It's a long time since I did, to be quite honest. What you can do is put up some scenarios and how you would deal with them. And again, a lot of this, you're identifying strengths and weaknesses is one thing, but that's within the procedures and policies that you have within your school. Your school will have a disciplinary procedure that deals specifically with with behaviour, unwanted behaviour, right? They will have some sort of disciplinary procedure in there. Then you can look at that disciplinary procedure and identify your own strengths and weaknesses within that procedure, what you would do in a given set of circumstances, what you will be allowed to do under those terms and agreements with what you've got to work with. In this unit, more than others, where you have completed similar work in Unit 1, you'll need to check that those responses in the LO of this unit match. There are some slight differences in what the criteria are asking for in this unit, but still check before you directly cross-reference anything to your evidence. Just put that one down for a minute. Yes. Okay. So, close that down. I'll let him for some reason. That's it. The ebook that we've used for it has upwards of 15, 16 pages of them, an outline of what this is about. Come on, bud. A couple of things I wanted to go over in this, then I'm going to cover up to. Here we are. That's in the teaching role. Some of these will be whatever school you're in, others will be only in junior school, but talking out of turn. Calculated idleness or work avoidance, hindering other pupils, arriving late, unwanted non-verbal noises. I'll leave your own imagination to learn what those are. Persistent infringement of class rules, getting up, walking about without permission, verbal abuse to other students, general rowdiness and messing about, cheeky remarks pertinence to the teacher, physical aggression to other pupils, verbal abuse to the teacher, physical destructiveness, physical aggression to the teacher. Those are, there's 14 issues that could occur. Now, some of the theories of managers are useful to look at. If you've got students that consistently do any of these things, then there's usually a reason for it, and it may be nothing to do with your lesson or the subject that you teach. More with serious ones from 10 onwards, there are external issues that you may not be aware of, and this is why it's a collaborative process. That you need to find out if there are external issues that you need to be aware of within the class. The task of identifying or defining misbehaviour is an important one. The teacher is going to develop strategies to deal with them. There is a need for, at the outset, to describe exactly what any unwanted behaviour actually comprises of. Telling another teacher that so but it's such and such a behaved badly before break time tells a colleague of little value. Indeed, the lack of precision might well lead to that person acquiring an unwanted label, which would become an almost permanent negative for other teachers. So it's essential for both of you to identify what is using precise objective language in the description of the behaviour. The description needs to be of the behaviour, not the pupil. And the two, I don't agree with that to a certain extent. The behaviour or the description of the behaviour needs to be of both the behaviour, what the behaviour is, and the pupil that's doing it. Moreover, you need to consistently remember that the hidden E in EBD is as a professional group. We invariably focus on acting out of the conduct as opposed to acting in emotions behaviour. All the subject. So desirable and undesirable behaviours in pupils. Attentive, interested in work, good learning organisation, effective communicator, works efficiently in a group. Verbal off-task behaviours, does not finish work, gives up easily, constantly needs reminders, short attention span, negative approach to school, forgetful, copies or rushes work, inaccurate, messy, slow work, fails to meet deadlines, poor communication skills, inappropriate timing of communication, constantly talks, lack of use of verbal skills, non-verbal skills, refuses to share, does not take turns or wait their turn, seeks help when necessary, behaves respectfully, shows respect for other pupils, seeks attention appropriately, physically respect property. Concede to be opposites, constantly seeking assistance, excessive or inappropriate demands, does not ask finding out questions, It's all show me how, not what do I do to do this. Responds negatively to instruction. Talks back impertinently to the teacher. It's verbal aggression towards the teacher. Deliberately interrupts noise. Verbal violence towards the pupil, harmful, pushing in, teasing, inappropriate sexual behaviour sometimes, homes visits, disturbs others, messes around, generally not getting on with the work. Doesn't want to be there, that's the bottom line for that one. Physical violence, poor respect for property, destroys his own and other things, steals things. I could go with these. There's a list of has everything. Is socially aware, is happy, is confident, and emotionally stable. And those last ones are the kickers really for me. If you get to is happy, is confident, and is emotionally self-controlled. Depressed, unhappy, or discontented. Prone to emotional upset. The children could be tearful, infers suicide, dark. Tedious, sad, self-harming, anxious, tense, tearful, reticent, fears failure, feels inferior, and lack of esteem. Inappropriate emotional reactions, does not recover quickly from upset, does not express feelings, frequent mood changes, is irritable and overreacts, does not delay gratification. These are terms that a psychologist would use, but those are the last ones. Yeah, if they're depressed, if they're anxious, if they're inappropriate emotional reaction, something. It's usually in the home. I found certainly with children anyway, or it can be with students that have come. I've experienced this with students that come in from abroad, and they're with family over here, and the family have decided they need to do some further education, and they don't want to do it, and they've come, and it can be really, really disruptive. How you deal with that is within the legislation that applies to the country you're in, and also the rules and regulations within the school, and it must be handled within the disciplinary procedure which I mentioned earlier. Oh, that's it. We're on. I think I actually covered this with you before. I'll just reiterate some of that. The theory is the person is off task. The pupil gets more attention by not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Reward only on task behaviour. Cognitive. Pupil thinks he can't do a task. Right? Encourages people to identify the bits of the task that he can do. Affective. Pupil is failure. These are prescriptive or theoretical remarks. Some of you may not understand those, you can just link them up. Yeah. Build self-esteem. Yeah. Circle times. It means group work. Social environment. And this is a big cause of social environment. As a brother is just the same. Now, people aren't born bad. There are circumstances that they live in cause a reaction. And that reaction, if they're at school, is usually in the form of it may be just attention seeking because they don't get any. Nurture group, work with parents and the family. That's just the thing. And again, it's okay saying that. This is what I mentioned before. It's okay saying that. Who's going to work with the parents and the family? The teacher can only teach in the classroom. Yes, they will have meetings with other interested parties within the school. But if the school doesn't have outreach, parent-teacher meetings, and things like of that nature, then it will be difficult to actually work with the parents. And quite honestly, the parents that are causing children to react like that are going to be difficult themselves to reach. Biological, there's actually a attention deficit or hyperactive disorder or something of that nature. Again, refer for medical assessment. This will depend on the policies, procedures within the school. Yeah. The pupil is ready for independent work. That means they could have an educational problem and not up against fast as the others in that group. This is why the old system used to have streaming A, B and C, where the high achievers were put into A, the medium achievers were in a B set, and of course the remedials were in a C set. Now, that was because there wasn't particularly any learning support. Nowadays, most learning support, they can set more on slower learning targets and help the students to achieve. As they do this, they speed up and they get better and better at what they do, and they can move up a stream. That's why the old system was good in those terms. Putting everybody in the same group doesn't really work, because it not only leaves behind the ones that are struggling, it also slows or holds back the ones that are way ahead and improved. Got one down. It eventually does. So we've looked at those, and what I don't appear to have here, that we'll have to plug in and put in, is Unit 39. Oh no, wait a minute, it's at the top. Right, one of the things I want to mention while I'm here is this is the last unit, although I believe some of the recordings are missing from the early units. I will re-record those, or I will offer them as open meetings like this one at a later date, and I'll notify you about that. Most of you that are doing this program now, it's only 2 units, and I would expect you to start to get your evidence together fairly quickly now. As I've explained, a lot of the evidence for the units will cross-reference. So I want you to look at the whole of the qualification rather than just unit by unit, because you'll then see the amount of work you've got to do. Learning objective, Unit 1 will contain the bulk of your work. The other units following from that, apart from a couple of units where there is some work to do, some of the work can be used, or some of the evidence from Unit 1 will come directly cross-referenced over to this. Maybe sometimes, as in this Unit 39, you may have to add a little bit of extra material to what you've already written to fulfil the requirements of the learning objective in this. Be aware of that. But I would like to start putting together all your units now, so you can put together unit 1, 2, 3 and 4, which are the core units. If you send those or deposit those in your position on your spot in the Moodle platform, I will be able to pick those up over the next week or so and start to do some assessment with that and give you some feedback so that you can on with the process of completing. A number of you have not responded to any of the meetings, and you haven't sent any work in. Now, the whole point of working at distance like this is to give you time to put stuff together in your own time. The whole reason why this scheduled series of meetings was put together was for you to be able to access them if you could. If you couldn't, access them afterwards via the Moodle platform. I'll be contacting most of you individually in the next week or so to find out where you're up to and what you need to be able to get to complete on this. I will be available via email. You can email me with us with information or questions that you might have. Be aware of that email address is there. I can pick that up at any time and give you feedback on that as soon as you put the work in. But we need to start bringing the work in now. Of course, if any of you've got any problems with this, contact myself or Ramon in the normal way. Thanks for listening. I'm going to close the meeting now, and of course this, as I said, will be recorded and it is on the Moodle.